analysis, and today we will be looking at Nova or Sunnova Inc. So they are a solar company, I believe. And honestly, I when this stock was recommended for me to review, it was at a pretty bad position, and since then they have essentially entered penny stock status. So this is going to be a pretty quick video. I'm really just going to glance over a couple things, and at the end of the day, this company is most likely heading to either delisting or bankruptcy, based on what I've been seeing. So we're going to get into a couple things, probably not for very long. They just had a 70% drop in one day. So it's going to be pretty rough, to say the least. So buckle up and let's get into Sunnova. So once again, this is going to be a fairly quick video. They do solar energy products and services. So I have been covering a handful of solar companies. A couple years ago, this was actually one of the largest solar companies. They have fallen off massively. So I went over First Solar, which in my opinion is one of the best stocks to buy for this entire year. That company and stock looks phenomenal right now. Also Solar Edge, which is at a great valuation at the moment, but we're just not seeing the same results financially that First Solar has been delivering. But either way, not great for Sunnova. So $63 million market cap. And in a second, I will go over why that is insane. Target price at $1, which sounds terrible when you consider that it is at 43 cents right now. And let's look at the log scale of this. There we go. That visualizes a little bit better. So this company has essentially nosedived directly to zero over the past few years. I'm almost confident that if they somehow survive another year, this workforce is most likely going to drop about 80 or 90%, if I had to guess. But either way, whatever happened in this earnings report was absolutely abysmal. And they dropped another, so that was 70% in 1 week, which I'm pretty sure almost all of that was in one day, and then another 15% this week. So they're essentially a penny stock at the moment. I really don't think there's anything too promising here. So all we're really going to go into is this earnings report and see what exactly happened. There's got to be something going on. Reports, including going concern comments. Let's see what that is about. So let's see. Okay. Unrestricted cash and cash flows from operating activities and availability are not sufficient to meet obligations and fund operations for at least 1 year from the date we issued financial statements without implementing additional measures, secure commitments or waivers to access equity commitments and refinance certain obligations. Management plans to address these conditions are described in note 2. Management has fully implemented certain aspects, cannot conclude completing future components at this time. Substantial doubt exists regarding our ability to continue as a going concern for a period of at least 1 year. So basically what they're saying is they do not have enough money to operate for the next year at the moment. They are working towards that. Oh, they hired a financial advisor. Awesome. The fact that they don't have someone qualified enough to already do this on their board or just team in general is kind of shocking, that they have to hire an outside person. So they're spending even more money that they don't have to probably just tell them to spend less money. That's ridiculous to me. But either way, as we saw, huge miss on the earnings over here. They are almost definitely heading to zero at the moment, it seems. Let's take a look at the full year financial results and see what shows up here. So, wow, they grew their total cash by 11%. Reduce annual cash costs by about 70 million. Signed asset-based loan facility providing additional working capital. So overall, total cumulative solar power generation to 3 gigawatts and 1.6 megawatt hours. Okay, so 2024 results. Honestly, I'm not even going to read them. I almost fully believe that this company looks like it's heading to zero. And this is just so much to read through at the moment. Going concern is the important part. That is the important part, which we already read through. So Other than that, I'm going to move on and flip through the financials probably very quickly here. Sales are growing, fantastic. Net income is brutal. Actually, the second most negative they have ever seen. They are diluting their stock fairly quickly. I honestly think they should be doing it more, considering they barely have anything to stay afloat with. So that is something to think about. Moving on to the balance sheet, I'm sure their debt is oh my god, 8 billion in debt compared to 289 in cash. They have another 300 million in short term, so brutal there, honestly. Total equity is positive, which is kind of shocking. But their debt to equity ratio is probably right around 400% at the moment, which is even higher than Lockheed Martin, which I just reviewed a couple minutes ago. So operating activities is very, very negative. Same thing with investing. And they have been selling off a ton of fixed assets over the past few years as well, which again is a terrible sign for the company. Um, in my opinion, that is a horrible sign. Genuinely believe they are going to zero just based on what I've seen. This is probably some of the worst I have seen. Um, Financing activities, a ton of debt being issued every single year, very little changes in capital stock at all. And then free cash flow massively negative as well. If they somehow manage to operate for another full year, I don't think we will see anywhere near enough growth to justify any kind of confidence at the moment. But let's head into the ratios. There's not going to be anything um, that we don't already know here, but gross margin has been, well, not really. It's below the 5-year average. Net margin's a little bit better, so actually operating is a little bit worse. Looking at that debt to equity, total debt to equity is at 463%. So brutal. That's all you need to know. I think that is the best word to describe this company. Just brutal results here. Um, yeah, 64% in one day. I mean, what are you really going to do with that? So sorry to anybody that was in this. That is terrible to have to go through. But that is just what happens sometimes. That's all I have for Sunnova today. Again, complete lack of confidence. I believe all investors are most likely done with them. If I had to guess who is still in it, it is probably a couple of retail investors with a dream and the leadership team, and that is about it. So overall, that's all I got. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Subscribe, and I'll see everybody in the next video.